keep up and make sure nobody's got any questions unanswered here.
I now officially hate my phone. But yeah, we got some good project news too. We everything is progressing exceptionally quickly on our NFT fronts. We have a lot of exciting stuff in the works too. As soon as I do have a few more infrastructure pieces in place, continuously opportunities present themselves for the project. It's our project. In many different forms. I wish I could share more information right now, but I just can't for many reasons. Non-disclosure agreements, as well as just general focus. I want to make sure that I try to stay focused on this first PFP line. These are really exciting. Cody worked really hard on them, and all the feedback that I've had from everybody in the community that I've shared the artwork with has just been amazing. Everybody's been thrilled with what they've seen. So far, the only feedback that I've seen that's been negative is so true, and I can't believe I didn't think about it at the time at all, was the fact that we don't have any girl characters, and I don't know why I didn't think about that. That's so wild that I didn't, but it didn't even cross my mind until somebody else asked about it, and I was like, oh, you're so right. Yeah, we need some girls, but that's okay. That gives us something to focus on for round 2, per se. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. My wife, she has a computer, and my son likes to use it, and I always forget what her pin is, but it's just like the number row all the way down. It's just like, what, I can't even think of what it is, but it's like 2, 5, whatever. Just the one row all the way down. 2, 5, 8, 0. Yeah. The most common. Anyways, sorry. So, yeah, more and more opportunities continue to present themselves for the project. We're going to be doing a lot of collaborative works here in the very near future, and also doing some really interesting things that tie the real world directly into the metaverse. And this is with like in real life hardware. So we are spending a little bit of money. This is collaborative efforts. I'm going to be working directly with EverReflect, and we're going to be doing some semi-promotional. I can't give the exact details away, but we're going to be working with some amusement parks for ease of organization and getting all this facilitated and done quickly and easily. We will be working with amusement parks in his area, which is in Michigan. So we're going to be working with some amusement parks to provide an interesting VR experience in the NBC metaverse.
All right, I'm going to assume that I'm not the only one not hearing anything. All right, there he is. All right.
I'm going to give up. I hate my phone so much. It's such a letdown. What's the last thing you heard, man?
To be honest with you, I was trying to find out if it was me or not. I don't even recall the last thing you had said.
Oh, I'm so sad about that. Okay, well, long story short, less enthusiasm. I'm going to be working directly with EverReflect to offer some a two-part series. So you'll have a VR experience directly tied to an amusement park experience that's in real life for you. The test system, the original product rollout is going to be fairly small. So we're probably only going to mint 20 one-off NFT tickets to a couple of amusement parks directly within his close proximity in Michigan. But these will be NFT tickets that you will be able to use a season pass. You'll be able to redeem, you'll be able to walk into the park using this NFT ticket directly from your Trust Wallet or MetaMask through these amusement parks. You will also, in return, be able to use this NFT within our virtual space to experience a not full virtual amusement park experience, but a virtual amusement park lounge with access to multiple different experiences that you would have in an amusement park itself, such as a roller coaster, shooting arcade games, things like that. This stuff is already in the works, and we do already have partnerships with other game companies to give us access to those experiences. So it's not going to be just our small team trying to build all that stuff out. There's already an existing platforms now that aren't necessarily crypto platforms that we're going to be able to bridge that connection by importing their experience into our ecosystem and facilitating that commerce just through the back end. So having a contract in place that pulls funds, and then we just pay out those funds directly to them in stable fiat. Again, this is stuff that is currently already in the works. It'll be a little bit before I have all of my virtual stuff in place, but there's, as far as the project itself and the company behind it, MBC that is, we having these things in place now and being able to facilitate a revenue generator for the project overall that is separate of any type of tax or market condition is beneficial to all parties, especially the hodlers. It continues to keep us working, continues to accelerate our development and our growth over time. So this is a service that we're able to offer to other projects, starting out very quickly with EverReflect, that we will be able to offer them some blockchain services in return for some revenue, to get access to some of our technology that helps them facilitate some of their goals a little bit faster. Not just EverReflect. I'm using them as an example because I was just talking about them, but these are just general goals of your team and what we're working on right now and what we will continue to work on moving forward. It opens up multiple opportunities. Not only does it drive revenue to the project itself, it also provides collaborative works with many different names, many different projects, giving us access to many different communities. I believe strongly in sharing technology, and I believe strongly that the way that you actually hold on to the business side of things, the revenue side of things, is not through cutthroat manipulative tactics, but instead through good partnerships and with the proper sharing of revenue and facilitating the transaction with ease. People will pay you money if it makes their life easier. So if you're good at something or you have the ability to offer certain things to people, and if that's what you have to offer, you don't have to be the cutthroat, business-minded person to be successful. You just have to continue to develop those relationships and continue to deliver those services with ease. and work out those deals properly. And everybody is happy, everybody wins. And again, the number one winner every time through collaborative works is the communities. Both communities are multiple communities, I should say, but both in this example will benefit from everything that we are doing together. And both projects will receive more revenue long term in that manner. At least that's the way that I think about it, and I feel strongly about it. And again, I do know that as far as our current business model and our path forward, that this is something not just with Everreflect, but with other things. And I'll get into more like nitty gritty details on how some of the business model functions of it work in time as we continue to partner up with multiple projects and continue to offer different services to them. We will be able to refine our techniques and our pricing and exactly how we are charging these people and what we're doing with them. Once we refine that a little bit better, we'll be able to be a little bit more transparent with everybody. We're navigating this field as best we can, but we've quickly gained a lot of traction, and we have some real services going on right now, and our service offerings are about to drastically expand. So it's an exciting time, and I know I've been spending more and more time away from the chat here in the last few days, but it's not at all due to a lack of interest or work. It's in fact quite the opposite. It's the fact of overwork and overinterest. If any of you are bouncing around between other communities, you've probably seen me in a lot of other spaces in the past week. I've been doing a lot of networking and a lot of MBC awareness, the way I like to put it. I like to just make sure I'm reminding people that we're here, that we're in this space, and that we are making changes. We're in a little bit of a lull right now just because of certain developmental products that just took a little bit longer to get out. But as they're getting closer, we're going to be continuing to ramp up our marketing and then push really hard off of this NFT drop through our next leg of development. And we plan on riding that NFT wave all the way to the VR wallet. And I am happy to say that development is, somebody asked about it a day or two ago within the chat. It's all still going on. We have to take our time and make sure that we're doing things correctly and getting them right. We don't have a lot of opportunity to get things wrong for multiple reasons, not just because we don't want to let any of our community members down or anything like that, but a lot of our actual business model and business structure is built around providing services and helping other projects. So we want to make sure that whenever we're doing it, we're getting it right, it's executing proper the very first time, and everybody's happy with the results. So a lot of due diligence behind this product lineup. I will have everything ready before the 7th, but we'll be doing like private testing on everything, doing some custom drops and stuff like that, making sure that everything's perfectly primed before we actually release it to the public. And I swear to everybody, I will get that form up today for people to fill out. I will do that. It will be done tonight. Before everybody wakes up in the morning tomorrow, you will have a form to fill out from Google Docs, from Google Forms, to allow me to do a little transaction sleuthing on your wallets, make sure that you're still eligible for the free sale drop, and we'll make sure that you get those NFTs dropped to you. And again, recap on these NFTs. These are our Meta Rangers. They are cyberpunk themed MetaMin, and they will. I do not have the traits numbers in front of me. I will get that like published as soon as possible. It will be available on the minting website as well, so you know like what the rarity levels are, stuff like that. I'll get that out as soon as possible. I might make a channel in Discord for it, and then again as well it'll be available on the website. The website is MBCRangers.com because for some reason MetaRangers.com was taken. Nothing was even on the website. Somebody just owns it. Anyways, NBCRangers.com is what I went with. I thought it was simple, easy, and just fit well. That is a private server, private node that everything is built on. So I will be able to point multiple different websites to it. So like we come out with a different line and we like have a better name for that line or something like that, I can always have a second landing page on that server. So both like websites are just hosted there, both linked up to the same engine, and like not even like a redirect. You're just going to the same spot with either domain name. Anyways, all right. So we went over some information. Does anybody have any questions for me? Man, Sean, you're the only non-meta down there. Well, Luca too. Luca and Sean. Everybody else in here actually has a meta name. I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. But dedication. I love you guys all very, very much. Hopefully that other uh that other project, hopefully they got it all fixed. I'm not even sure. I'll have to check on that whenever I get out of here. Um well guys, I really appreciate you stopping by.
All right, I think he's coming back.
I hate my phone so much, dude. It's like if I stand still the entire time, it'll never drop service or move or do anything. Oh, I see why. Because I'm not even hooked up to my Wi-Fi. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, okay. So I did just get an update on that other project just to fill you guys in who were sitting here in the beginning. No, they cannot fix it. They do not know how. They cannot figure it out. And I think they're just going to crash and burn now. That sucks. Sorry to hear that. Um anyways, yeah. Everybody also should start to get excited, start to share it. We will have that roundtable event on the 2nd, I believe. It's on the 2nd. Yeah, March 2nd, Wednesday. And then again, I will be hosting the next one the following week immediately after that. Just for scheduling reasons, we will still be doing them bi-weekly. So after that week, I will take a week off of not hosting one, and then have one the following week after that. As far as this one, it is Maverick from Brew Labs, APEC from Dive Wallet, Kyruna from Ignite DeFi, and Toten from BUSD Buffet. The following week, I will have Nobility, Rhematic, DFS Mafia, and Everreflect. I do not know all the representatives from all these places. I believe from DFS Mafia, it's going to be Dan. From Nobility, it's going to be Kyle. From Everreflect, it'll be EJ. And then Rhematic, I do not know. I believe probably their CEO. Gosh, embarrassing moment. I believe his name is John. I will have to double check that. But again, if any team is sending somebody in to sit down and talk, it will always be a senior member of the team itself. If they can't send a senior member for some reason, we just won't have them on. Not for any, it's not ever going to get like super technical or anything like that. But I don't want there to be any confusion that stems from one of these roundtable talks. If a serious question does come up, or if something like strikes my mind as like pure curiosity, I want to make sure that I can ask the question and get a actual answer from somebody. And if the answer is not given, then like you'll know because it's live the type of hesitation, what it must mean, if you catch my drift. Anyways, but yeah, I'll get promotional materials made up for that next one. Because it has some bigger name projects on it, I haven't wanted to announce that stuff too much yet or do any promotional materials for it because I'm, again, want to just try to keep the focus on what we've got going on this week. This is going to be a really exciting talk. Maverick from Brew Labs is a great guy to talk to. Being able to pick his brain for a little bit in public, I think, is going to be enlightening for a lot of people. He's a smart guy. He's good at what he does. I always love talking to Toten. He does fantastic. And as far as dive ball goes, I've got some good questions for the guy. So hopefully we get some exciting engagement going on. And if anybody here knows Kairuna from Ignite DeFi, I put Ignite DeFi down just because they are launching around that time. And I figured it'd be good publicity for them. The Spark launchpad itself, he has a whole lot of involvement in, and it'd be cool to talk about that and see how they're doing things differently. They are doing a few things differently that I have not seen done before, so it's interesting. As well, he is a member of many other projects. So originally, I was going to have him just on by himself, but again, Spark was or Ignite was launching. I figured it'd be good branding for them and good opportunity altogether. So we went with branding it around Ignite, but it's really just a conversation with Kairuna. I talk to him all the time privately. He's a very interesting young man. He's, I think, 25 years old and seems to be involved in a little bit of everything. So he's definitely got an inside track. He definitely knows the space very, very well, and just a good brain to pick in a live setting, I think. Alrighty, well, I'm going to check real quick before we hop off, make sure I'm not missing any actual questions. We got some. You should make it a requirement for other projects to shill NBC because you're a god. Are you writing out the script for the roundtable? Meaning like play-by-play. Also, how do you increase visibility for NBC during these? Promotion, like contests for state coins, something like that. Those are all fantastic questions. So, two things there. To some degree, I'm a firm believer that the lack of shilling itself actually in time builds a stronger, better community. I, of course, need and want my community to be out there shilling, but a large portion of the ability for me to work with so many different projects on the level that I do is because I don't necessarily shill my own project. I let my work speak for itself. I will get the things that I want to get accomplished done, and I will promote these things in many different ways. I'm a firm believer that because I am the host of the event and I continue to hold it and have it going on, and I have these communities cycle through it, and I will have them back on, for instance, like I have having USD back on, I'm about to have Everreflect back on. In time, I'll have like Nobility back on after they come on, they do their thing, and then a few weeks later, have them back on. Stuff like that. Increasing the exposure to me, our project, and everything else, just general branding, I think in time has a cascading effect. People just see it more, they see it more, and then once they start to hear about products that also go along with the brand and the messaging, for instance, between this roundtable event and the next roundtable event, we will actually have our NFT drop. So, without a doubt, during this roundtable event, I will talk about our NFTs at some point. And I'll mention that they will be coming out like in the next week. And then right after they come out, I'll talk about how the fact that they did just come out and that, you know, it's that free exposure with the multiple different influencers and the projects on there, their community is listening to it, hearing that another project is there and does have products in the works and coming out and fulfilling goals. I think that alone is its own like grade A promotional stuff, as well as joining all of their additional spaces. So I've been going on to affinities and nobilities and drip. I've been going on all these places, their AMAs, and talking just me as a person, but of course, always introducing myself as Meta Captain, founder of MetaBUSDCoin, and just kind of giving them my general analysis of whatever it is that they're talking about. The community members catch on to this. There's plenty of people that eventually they're just like, hey, I've seen you so many places. What's going on? Who are you? It's like, what coin are you a part of? And then I get to shill myself in a completely different way. That's so mean. He just ran up to me and said, fucking car. So mean. Anyways, 1 second. I'm sorry. Give me one moment, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. This is the weird in-between time where I'm going to stall for time. Just to kind of talk a little bit more about that, there's going to be like a lot of attention on us for these roundtable talks. One of the big value drivers is that MetaBUSD coin is the only one that is continuously on all of them. So as people from different projects start watching them and hopefully start becoming interested, kind of seeing it as a way for finding new projects as well, they're going to constantly be seeing MBC everywhere. And so that's one of the, huge benefits of it. And not only that, but it kind of creates a pipeline for us to meet new projects and start negotiating partnerships where there's crossover that applies. For example, if they're doing NFT games, maybe that's something we can incorporate in our virtual space as something for our users to do. So the potential crossover pipeline is kind of huge for that. And so that's another big bonus for it, on top of the items that Chris had already listed.
Well, and to give like proof of example of that, is like I had no idea that Nobility had some type of gambling casino thing in the works already. I had no idea that they have like that platform already getting built. It's supposed to be out here fairly soon. I've spoken about this many times before, but I can port any 2D platform experience into VR like essentially immediately. Now, porting it into a VR experience that is enjoyable over something else is a little bit different. So, like, why would you go and do that in VR versus doing something else? But the thing is we're not doing that. We're already providing an ecosystem in a lobby in an area that has its own VR experiences that you go there for. But if while you were there, you could also go into a special room and view on a nice 60-inch monitor, and that's touchscreen that you're able to interact with in the virtual world as if it was the exact 2D website. And you're doing that in like a cool lounge area that has a fireplace next to you and stuff like that. If it's already within the experience built into it that you're already doing for something else, then it becomes an actual possibility. So if they already have a platform that they've built and that they're rolling out that is like a web-based platform, then we could easily import that into our ecosystem. And then as far as working out the swaps and stuff like that for the tokens and the chain performance, you work out the technicalities in the background. We can do that. But as far as actually just getting it over there and doing that, it all starts first with just a conversation. And this has been a fantastic facilitator of that conversation for us. So in a nutshell, that is a good value behind it itself. And again, I think in time, through not all out shilling MBC, I think I gained the respect of those other teams and projects that continues to facilitate them onboarding onto my DeFi roundtable versus somebody else's that may or may not feel more or less like they're doing it for the clout per se, if that makes sense. It's a fine line that you walk. I, of course, always want to promote MBC. Yeah, this is my family. I want us to all perform as well as possible, but I have to definitely walk that line very properly. And I think I'm right. I think if I handle myself accordingly, in time, people just you just gain the recognition through the fact of like, oh, well, this seems to be like a very reasonable, level-headed project that's working towards real goals. And that's reflected in their founder. Anyways, fantastic question. Thank you. So, is there any other questions from anyone? So Reflex Finance going onto SafeMoon Swap. I know there's so much going on right now. Where do we need to be able to put an application to SafeMoon Swap? Okay, good question. Good question. So the answer there is a lot further down the road. We would need to realistically, because I actually just talked to EJ about this moments ago. And yeah, their bottom tier package is $100,000. So that $100,000 gets you onto SafeMoon Swap. That gets you onto SafeMoon Swap. Gets you one tweet from the SafeMoon team. And I think that's actually it. They like just announce that you have been listed on the SafeMoon Swap, and they list you. The second tier price is $200,000, and you get, I think, multiple tweets about the listing. You get listed, and as well, they include a billboard for you in Utah for like 1 week. Now, the third tier price is 3 tweets from them over the course of 1 week, listing on SafeMoon Swap, the billboard in Utah for 2 weeks, and a like a logo, your logo on their website whenever they relaunch their website. And this is probably like the one best thing about the product. If you had $300,000 and you believed in SafeMoon that they were actually going to do all this, so you get all that stuff, and they promise to list you on their exchange at launch of the exchange for the $300,000 package. So that would be cool, but that's also $300,000. Realistically, a project like ours, I think that like you'd have to really run some metrics on the $100,000 listing offer. That's probably worth it to some level. More than likely, that is worth it. If you do the capital raise and you want to go ahead and list on SafeMoon, project our size, if you've got the $100,000 to do it, you'll probably see a return on that $100,000 fairly quickly through volume and so on and so forth. Is it in the realm of possibility today? No. Could it be within the next 2 to 3 months? Without a doubt. But realistically, that's the type of timeline that you guys would be looking at before we were doing something like that. We will have to release multiple NFT lines and continue to offer many services for many other projects to do that. Because you got to think, that's $100,000 on top of whatever else you're spending money on. And everything costs money. So this project, whether or not you guys see it or realize it, just burns money. I burn money on this project constantly. It's good. I love doing it, and I'll continue to do it for the rest of my days. That being said, in order to facilitate something like that and a SafeMoon Swap listing, I definitely need to have a couple of capital raise events. If I sold out this first NFT line completely, immediately, we would maybe then have the ability to possibly consider a SafeMoon swap listing. And I wouldn't want to do it right then because I'd want to wait. I'd want to spread those funds through like marketing and other measures and continue to do development until we had at least like our second line out and we were able to like sell that out or do close to selling that out. That's just, again, me speaking as transparently and as factually as I can with you guys. That's a lot of money. I can do Bitmart for like 40 or 50K, I think. I could do like 2 real exchanges before I did SafeMoon swap, just factually. Now, do I think those exchanges would be more beneficial than SafeMoon swap? Probably not. SafeMoon swap seems to be a really good choice for projects right now. Again, we will judge the metrics and we will figure out exactly what we're working with revenue wise and whether or not it's the right decision for the project. And we'll continue to keep the community in the loop about that and about where we're looking at for that. But right now, no. We have looked at some other listing options very recently. And I will release more information about that as it comes. Nothing nearly as large as SafeMoon swap or anything like that. But we are looking at other listing options to gain some more exposure and give more options for people to purchase. That's always beneficial, and we will always continue to do these things. All right. I'm going to check for one more question. Gosh, we got like a whole conversation going on here now. Yeah. All righty. Well, I think that's all good. I think we've got all the questions. SafeMoon swap does seem like a good target, though. I think so too. I think so too. I think I watched. God, now I can't remember the name of it, but somebody just got listed yesterday, I believe, on SafeMoon swap, and they were up 400%. So yeah, and like their volume was, I think, higher than it was for their coin market cap. SafeMoon swaps definitely, especially right now, on fire. And if you could get listed on SafeMoon swap, that's a good route to go, without a doubt. That's really cool that Reflex did it so quickly, for instance. They definitely must have used some private funds, some private raised funds to do the SafeMoon swap and the Bitmart listing at the exact same time. Because I'm sure that cost them a minimum of like 150K, which is not a terrible amount of money, but it's also not pocket change either, just for like spending it immediately right after your launch. That's impressive. For instance, Reflect will not be going on SafeMoon swap right now. But it's definitely within all of our goals. It's something that I think every project would like to pursue. That's definitely that's the one thing SafeMoon has going for them for sure. But nobody could deny that they have brand recognition and they have a large, very very large user base. So of course that's a no-brainer. If we can, we will. We'll pursue that as quickly as possible, within reason, of course. All righty. Is there any other questions? Dang, did they really? That's crazy. That's wild. Sorry, I'm reading some of these numbers in like this messaging in the AMA questions. If this is true, are you saying that Reflex hit $70 million market cap after the news of SafeMoon swap? Or did that happen before SafeMoon swap? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, no, I have not looked at their chart at all. That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy. I did not know that I had no idea that their market cap was that high, to tell you the truth, guys. I mean, I talk to those people all the time, like daily, privately, even today, and I had no idea that their market cap was that high. I knew Reflex was doing very, very well. And then getting the news out about the SafeMoon swap and stuff, I knew was very beneficial to them and to their holders. I'm very happy for that project. That's excellent. I hope the best for any DeFi project. Absolutely. I would be curious to know, like, I don't even want to talk about that. Yeah. Well, I'll ask you some questions privately about some of the transaction sleuthing that you're talking about. That's curious. Anyways, thank you guys all very, very much for joining me this afternoon. I'm sorry I had some technical difficulties with my cell phone, but I do have a new setup ready to go. I just was not able to log on to like my laptop and stuff like that and get it all ready to go beforehand. I really do want to try to hold our own like once a week AMA separate outside of Discord directly on YouTube. I think it would be beneficial, primarily for me, just because it would hopefully I would use that one to be a little bit more organized with the AMA, to have like a better function built around what we're actually talking about, getting the news out in a digestible way so everybody knows what they're looking at for the week, stuff like that, especially since my schedule has become more chaotic during the week, and sometimes I don't necessarily hit my goals on what day or time I am holding that AMA. I knew I was locking out one solid one every single week that was live, that was on YouTube, recorded immediately, then I knew we'd have that done for sure. And then I'd try to pick up the pieces during the week as best as I could. So I'm going to try to move forward with that plan here in the next week as best as I can. One other thing before I hop off here, that was the other question I read, and I skipped past it after I read it. Give me one moment. I need to quick reference it again. Oh, so the question was, is everything scripted ahead of time for the roundtable event? No, it is not. So the way that it worked the last time, and I'm sure the way it'll work this time, I will be a nervous wreck all day, and I will think to myself all day about what I want to talk about, the questions that I might want to ask. Obviously, it's fairly easy because at each individual project that's coming on is always somewhat unique, comparatively speaking, to the one that's sitting next to it. So I usually, whenever I'm thinking about it, I just try to zone in on those things. I'm like, all right, so what are they doing that's a little bit different than like the next guy? What's their one unique quality? Or maybe they have two unique qualities, whatever it may be. And then what is interesting about that, I kind of like work my head around that. So I know that that's like the serious questions that I'm going to ask each individual project. Outside of those serious questions, I then have like a general set of questions that I want to ask everybody typically. That's about just DeFi or the crypto space in general, or development, not even like necessarily crypto, but just development. And then the hardest part for me is thinking about how to try to include the influencers that are there in the conversation in a way that's like informative and beneficial for everybody that's involved. That's been the most difficult part, because I want to make sure that I'm still getting influencers coming on. I want to make sure that they're like eager and happy to be working with us, for many reasons. Not only are they going to come on and do the roundtable, but if they're doing the roundtable, they're more than likely also going to be doing like a review video for us. We saw that with Adam Bergman. I do believe we'll probably end up seeing that with Generation Crypto, and some other influencers that are coming on. And again, these are a separate level of influencers than we've worked with in the past, and that'll continue to be the case. and I'll continue to climb up that ladder and until we finally get to the bit boys and stuff like that. Anyways, thank you all very much for joining me. I hope I answered everybody's questions. And if you guys have any more, you always know where to find me. Always available on Discord. Thank you all. Good evening.